Hey guys, welcome back to TrainWorldTV. Today we're talking about how to build your layout, specifically laying cork roadbed, which is a foundation to running trains smoothly once we get to the track part. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Laying the cork roadbed foundation is pretty straightforward and simple. Let's show you how it's done. Alright, so we are on a curve here. I'm going to show you both curves and straights for laying cork. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is I always put the back portion of the cork down first so you can still have a visible line from where your track plan lines were that we talked about in your last video. Then we're going to take 1/2-inch nails, preferably steel 18 gauge. You can pick them up at your local home improvement stores or online. You're going to need a bunch of them, and you're going to line up your track plan and put that cork roadbed edge right on the edge of the track plan. That cork is pushing that nail out a little bit. You push it in the cork, and then down it goes. And you're going to want to do one of those nails every 5 to 6 inches. Otherwise you can have some play in your cork. And you will notice as you go further along with the nailing of the cork on a curve specifically that you're going to get uneven pieces. So for example, because a curve has different diameter on that inner edge than the outer edge, a piece of cork is going to stop at a different place down here than the piece of cork that you put at the top of that curve. So that's not a big deal. Just for OCD folks, you're going to have to go with it and make sure that you keep on laying the cork even if it isn't lining up perfectly, because that's going to happen on curves. As you can see, this cork roadbed is right up against the track plan line, and eventually your fingers are going to get really tired of nails, so you can get a nail holder, and then that will spare you. Try to get this in view here, from putting your fingers pushing those nails in, because eventually that's going to hurt, maybe make a small puncture on the tip of your finger. So our cork roadbed is HO scale cork roadbed from Midwest Products, and when it comes out of the box it's one piece together, and there's lots of pieces in a box, but it comes in one solid piece. What you have to do is turn it basically down and tear it apart, because you need the beveled edges of this cork in order to make a nice profile for the ballast that looks realistic. And that bevel you can see when I bring this head on to the camera. But one thing you can see from that angle right there is right here you see a little overhang, and that has to come off. There's two different ways to do that. You can either take a sharp knife and cut along the edges and get that all off, or after you lay your track you can sand the bevels down. So if you want to put in the work ahead of time you can, otherwise you can do it after it's nailed down, but with nails it's a little harder to sand the bevels down. But what we're going to do is make a smooth edge here so that we have a nice profile for the ballast. Alright, so what you're going to do is just take the blade on the edge here, and you're going to cut into this to get that edge off. Obviously not cutting your fingers in the process, but want to work that edge off of there and make it a little smoother. That's option 1. Now option 2, after the cork roadbed is laid, this is not completely down yet, so it's going to shift during this process. You go over the top work away the edges. Very quickly takes away that edge. And you blow away the debris, and that will take off the edge as well. So that shows you how to lay cork roadbed. And as you can see, we've made quite decent progress just over the course of several hours by laying this area all the way up to the bridge area here. So once you do that, you have a good foundation for your track. Now, you're going to want to make sure that this cork is even. Every piece that connects is even. There's not a lip, because any lip in the cork could make a lip in the track. And a lip in the track in the wrong direction, you could have a pilot of a steam locomotive catch. You could have a snowplow of a diesel locomotive catch. And then all of a sudden you're not moving at all. Or if it goes from a higher elevation to a lower elevation because of a track inconsistency, you can have a truck float and a derailment. So that is how important cork roadbed is to your layout. Well, I hope you understood how easy it is to lay cork roadbed. But if you have any questions, that's okay. Everybody's new, and at one time it was a struggle for me as well. That's why in the comments section, we're a community of modelers. You can talk to each other. I'll try to chime in occasionally too with questions and answers about laying cork roadbed on your layout. But the main thing to remember about this process, it is so key to have great running track, trouble-free track, no derailments. So you're going to want to make sure you take your time and lay your cork roadbed correctly. With that said, guys, thanks for watching us here on TrainWorld TV. We'll see you next time. Take care.